Good evening. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. Stern action to be taken against Zul Amali Hussein, known as BOZZ JEBAT, for his condescending remarks against Sarawak Premier Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg. Prime Minister Anwar warns that ministers involved in corruption must be dropped from cabinet. One dead and 5 others injured after tragic helicopter crashes into sea off coast of Norway. One person died and 5 were injured when a helicopter crash landed in the ocean off western Norway, leading to a temporary halt in transport to and from the country's offshore oil and gas platforms. The Sikorsky S-92 aircraft operated by Bristol, Norway, was on a search and rescue training mission on Wednesday when the accident occurred. According to a statement from officials, the 6 crew members were all hoisted from the sea by rescue workers, but one was later declared dead in a hospital.
Meanwhile, one of the surviving crew members was in a critical condition, one was severely injured, while the remaining 3 suffered lighter injuries. The cause of the accident was not immediately known. At the same time, the company is mobilizing the full resources of its response team and was in the process of contacting and providing assistance to family members of the helicopter's crew members. Bristol Group said earlier in the day that the helicopter crashed around 6:40 local time while conducting a training exercise. And following the crash, all 6 people aboard the helicopter, including 2 pilots, were rescued from the sea and transported to a hospital in Bergen. Inspectors were immediately sent to Stavanger and Bergen to investigate the accident. The 2 cities are the busiest hubs for Norway's extensive oil and gas industry, which produces around 4 million barrels of oil equivalent per day.
Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim today said that any member of his cabinet found involved in corrupt practices must be dismissed from their positions to save the country from corruption. Anwar said he has also directed the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC to take action against ministers found involved in such practices.
Setahun 3 bulan, saya salut juga pada rakan-rakan, kita dapat berikan imej pimpinan yang bersih dari rasuah. Tetapi peringatan itu jelas. SPRM tidak mungkin mengecualikan siasatan ke atas pimpinan yang ada sekarang atau memantau setiap tender atau keputusan yang dibuat. Nah, kalau ada, saya katakan, jangan tanya saya. Persila ambil tindakan dan orang-orang yang berkenaan wajib digugurkan. Baru boleh negara ini selamat.
Speaking when opening the National Anti-Corruption Summit NACS 2024 on Thursday, Anwar also advised cabinet members to evaluate and scrutinize any approved projects before proceeding to ensure that the process is transparent, clean and potentially cost-effective. He said this was important to save public funds and subsequently return them to the people for mutual benefit. He also proposed to MACC to organize talks on corruption, especially for the high-profile figures across the country, as many of them live and engage with it. The Prime Minister also questioned the silence of opposition leaders who are seen not expressing any support for the MACC's efforts to investigate high-profile figures associated with corruption. Anwar said the opposition instead accused the investigations carried out against those high-profile figures and super-rich individuals as motivated by personal vendettas.
Political Secretary to the Premier of Sarawak, John Nyigor, has filed a police report on Thursday against an individual who made demeaning and insulting statements towards the Premier, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg. According to John, the individual, BOZZ JEBAT or Zul Amali Hussein, had hurled harsh and racial incitement sentiments in a video.
In the video, BOZZ JEBAT questioned Abang Johari's decision regarding the appointment of Datuk Sri Tiong King Sing as the Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture. The statements made also diminished and undermined the position and credibility of Abang Johari as the leader of Sarawak.
Mula statement seolah-olah Sarawak bukan sebahagian daripada Malaysia, kerana yang mana ini negara kami dalam video ya. Jadi this one mungkin akan menimbulkan perasaan senang hati dengan orang Semenanjung. This one is spread out. Jadi we want this to stop kerana if this one is not stop, mungkin orang lain kelak mengambil tindakan yang sama. Jadi sama juga macam ada seorang one time influencer memperkecilkan kostum Iban.
Accompanied by 12 other political secretaries to the Sarawak Premier, he requested the police to take action to prevent others from repeating the same act. The report was made under the provisions of Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998 and Section 504 of the Penal Code.
The Latin American Film Festival is scheduled to be held in Kuching for the first time this year. Cuba's ambassador to Malaysia, Florentino Batista Gonzalez, said that the organization of the festival marks the beginning of collaboration in project exchanges between Sarawak and the Central American countries.
Main step and first step right now will be on a cultural project which is doing here in Kuching a Latin American Film Festival. Hopefully very soon that we will bring our films from Latin America and hopefully a little bit more to give a glimpse of the cultural richness that binds those together.
He said this to reporters after a courtesy visit to the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, on Thursday. Also present during the courtesy call was the Ambassador of Uruguay to Malaysia, Valeria Sukasi. Both ambassadors represent a group of Latin American and Caribbean embassies in Malaysia. Meanwhile, Ambassador of Uruguay to Malaysia, Valerie Sukasi, revealed that the Premier was pleased to offer assistance to ensure the success of the festival.
But understanding that culture would be the first step to bringing other things like investment, economy, development, trade opportunities, and making sure that Latin America is really well known for Sarawakians and that Sarawak is finally well understood in our countries too. So the idea today was starting to discuss certain things, but we leave this meeting with a long list of homeworks that we will be developing.
Sukasi added that a follow-up visit will be conducted before the end of this year. In the meantime, they hope that the public will participate in the expected festival, which is anticipated to take place around November or December this year.
Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Douglas Ugahambas, has encouraged the Academy of Sarawak Dayak Iban Asadia to continue preserving and promoting Dayak Iban cultural activities. Uga pointed out that the Academy is very active in holding regular classes to teach the Iban Ngajat classes for both men and women, the traditional Kuntau art of self-defense, and the Sape and Gendang Pampat, also known as the traditional drum.
Meanwhile, Uga hoped to see Asadia to collaborate with the Dayak Cultural Foundation, DC. He suggested that the new DCF building will have a place to hold these activities in a conducive ambience, while at the same time looking into giving better incentives for the teachers and instructors involved. Uga also advised the Academy to consider organising the Baju Dabong embroidery class, the making of Bungai Jarau, traditional curly wood carvings used as decorations during special festivals and ceremonies. He stressed these items have high demands and can be commercialised. Uga also suggested Asadia to organize relevant forums and seminars as another option to promote kerurai or seranai or flute classes, as well as the making of perengka tabo or musical steel set as its new projects. He added Asadia would begin its cultural activities and programs for this year from March 11th.
The trade value between Sarawak and Brunei increased by 23.8% or 3.76 billion ringgit in 2023 compared to 3.04 billion ringgit in 2022. Sarawak Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Halia Ahsan said that Sarawak's export value to Brunei was 3.59 billion ringgit, mostly comprised of oil, plastic goods and machinery equipment.
In a statement, he also hoped for more collaborative efforts to be established at various levels between Sarawak and Brunei. Awang Tengah held a meeting on Wednesday with Brunei's Minister of Primary Resources and Tourism, Datuk Seri Dr. Abdul Manaf Metusin, at his office in Wisma Sumber Alam. During the hour-long visit, matters discussed included collaboration in areas such as agriculture, tourism and small and medium enterprises. He also announced plans for the opening of the Sarawak Trade and Tourism Office, or STATOB, in Brunei, expected to commence operations this year.
The largest handicraft exhibition, Jakarta International Handicraft Trade Fair INACRAFT 2024, highlights efforts to promote Indonesian handicraft products and to enhance the domestic market. The 5-day exhibition, which was participated by 1,500 entrepreneurs, also included strategies to enhance the domestic market. This year, it included Sarawak on the list of attendees. Deputy Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Sarawak Datuk Snodan Lawan, followed by discussions with INACRAFT's Director General for Marketing of Creative Economy, comprising strategies in developing sustainable tourism practices while fostering growth and innovation in the creative industry sector.
The views exchanged include promoting heritage tourism of Indonesia, particularly cross-border heritage tourism in Kalimantan and Sarawak, and also supporting the development of creative industry such as arts, crafts, fashion, culinary and heritage. The dialogue also revolved around establishing platforms to identify potential products, ensuring the production of high-quality goods, and formulating effective marketing strategies to promote these offerings effectively. The delegation-led also consisted advisor to Ministry of International Trade, Industry and Investment, Datuk Seri Muhammad Naruddin Majais, Mayor of Kuching South City Council, Mayor Wee Hong Seng, Manager of Sarawak Craft Council, Surya Charles. The opening ceremony was launched by President Jokowi Widodo and Minister of Cooperatives and SMEs Teten Masduki. The exhibition is held from 28th of February until 3rd of March 2024 at the Jakarta Convention Center. INACRAFT is initiated by the Indonesian Exporters and Entrepreneurs Handicraft Association, ASAFI, in collaboration with Mediatama Event.
Wife of the head of state, Toh Puan Fauzia Muhammad Sanusi, has been appointed as the patron for the Girl Guides Association of Malaysia Sarawak branch effective January 26. Sarawak Girl Guides Association chairperson Datuk Dayang Murliah Datuk Awang Mudaud said the appointment was made in accordance with Section 2, Article 4 of the Girl Guides Association of Malaysia Sarawak branch Constitution.
Kita. Jadi Alhamdulillah, Puan telah berbesar hati untuk meningkatkan ini dan kami juga terus juga menjemput yang amat berbahagia Puan untuk menyertai larian Girl Guide Run yang akan diadakan pada 3 hari bulan Mac ini bertempat di media siaran MBKS, bangunan MBKS.
Dayang Morliah said the Girl Guides Run 2024 will involve a total of 1,000 participants comprising of Sarawak Girl Guides members, civil servants, private sectors and the public.
Jadi tujuan Girl Guide Run ini adalah untuk mengumpulkan dana bagi membiayai aktiviti-aktiviti Girl Guide pada tahun ini. Ya. Selain itu, kita juga ingin nak menambah baiklah kemudahan-kemudahan yang terdapat di pejabat dan juga peronan girl guide kami untuk kebaikan ahli-ahli pandai puteri di Sarawak.
Adding further, she said the GGAM Sarawak branch will also be the host for the Girl Guides annual general meeting on June 27th to 30th, 2024 to be held at the Riverside Majestic Hotel, Kuching.
Sarawak Islamic Council MIS has allocated a total of RM1,619,000 earmarked for 1,571 mosques and suraus, with each receiving a portion of RM1,571,000 to support religious infrastructure in Sarawak for this year. Deputy Minister of Utility and Telecommunication, Datuk Dr. Abdul Rahman Junaidi, said this is to ensure a proper management of the mosques, suraus and Islamic cemetery lands.
Daripada 1.619 juta ringgit ini, sebanyak 1.571 juta disalurkan kepada 1,571 buah masjid dan surau. Manakala RM48,000 disalurkan kepada 48 buah jawatankuasa tanah perkuburan Islam.
He said this when officiating at the launching of the Sarawak Mosque Innovative and Creative Group KIK initiative and the contribution handover to mosques, suraus and Islamic cemeteries at the Sarawak Islamic Complex on Thursday, February 29th. He added that in addition to one-off assistance through grants and the like, he said that MIS also provides annual assistance in line with Section 46 of the Sarawak Islamic Council Ordinance, which governs the use of Baitul Mal funds.
Meanwhile, the call from Sarawak Islamic Council MIS is to ensure all restaurants and hotels organizing Ramadan buffet are halal certified is welcomed by entrepreneurs. Owner of Nyonya Kitchen by Sonia, Shannon Lee, admits that getting the halal certification will give her business a definite boost in confidence, especially amongst Muslims.
During an interview, Shannon said many customers had inquired about their restaurant's halal status.
It do plays a huge part because we do have a lot of people asking us like, is it halal? Yeah, you know, is your material halal? You know, can you show me the cert? But we are implementing to get halal cert. But as you know, halal cert is a very tedious process. Like before we have banquet restaurant also. So we took quite a while to get a halal cert. So that's our ideal goal, is to get a halal cert as well. Of course, it gives more confidence to the Malay customers as well. But now, as of now, we are pork free and we do not serve any.
Operating for less than a year, she said opening their door for a Ramadan buffet is something on her bucket list and hopes that customers from all backgrounds will come to try their array of signature Nyonya dish inherited from her Nyonya grandmother. In regards with the sales and services tax, SST, into utility bills, though it might not incur any price increase on their menu, it will increase their expenses.
We maintain our price. We did not increase our price at the moment because we think that our price is, we go by quantity. Our quantity is quite big. Yeah, so even though the expenses may jack up a bit, but I think it's okay. So as long our whole idea is customer, they eat, they are happy with it, you know, and they think that it's sufficient and the price is reasonable, then we are okay with it. Yeah. Because every business we want to earn, right? Which business we don't want to earn? Yeah, but we cannot just increase certain things just because of this increase.
Starting March 1st, the SST will be applied to both electricity and water bills, in which has raised many concerns, especially from members of the public. The federal government have stated that it will be re-examined in the next National Action Council on Cost of Living NACOL meeting slated to take place on March 20th.
Coming up right after the break, stern action to be taken against disparages of Sarawak Premier and potential My Airline investor.
Dares to go against my order, I will not hesitate to get you killed. Jaga mulut Wan.
Apakah masa depan hero kita?
Today we say enough is enough.
Welcome back. Syrian Member of Parliament Datuk Sri Richard Riyad Jayam calls on for Royal Malaysia Police to take firm action against individuals who disrespect the Premier Sarawak, Datuk Paninggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg. He expressed that this measure is aimed at ensuring that such behaviour is restrained and does not persist as a disease within a diverse nation like Malaysia.
Ada netizen dalam sosial media telah menghina, mengeluarkan kata-kata kesat terhadap Yang Amat Berhormat Premier Sarawak, Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Johari Tun Openg. Bagi saya ahli parlimen dari Sarawak, dari Syrian. Bagi saya ingin memetik, saya ingin memberitahu Dewan Yang Mulia ini. Ada pepatah Melayu yang menyebut cubit sebelah kiri, paha sebelah kiri, paha kanan juga akan terasa. Ini pepatah Melayu yang saya ingin bawa ke Dewan Yang Mulia. Bila menghina Yang Amat Berhormat Premier Sarawak, saya sebagai ahli parlimen Sarawak dari Sarawak pun rasa terhina. Maka oleh demikian sebenarnya saya amat berterima kasih kerana satu kumpulan telah pun membuat laporan polis, iaitu di Balai Polis Satok sebentar tadi. Jadi bagi saya, Datuk Yang Ketua, Puan Yang Ketua, perkara macam ini yang dikeluarkan oleh netizen ini yang berbau sifat perkauman haruslah tidak ada dalam sistem negara majmuk, negara kita yang tercinta ini. Maka Puan Yang Ketua, saya minta supaya Polis Diraja Malaysia ambil berat akan perkara ini, supaya perkara sebegini boleh dibendung sebelum ia jadi besar.
At the same time, Riyad stressed that he would continue to advocate for the construction of a new immigration, customs, quarantine and security ICQS in Terbadu. This matter has long been brushed off by the government, with the current complex being in underwhelming condition. He explained further that Syrian residents have long been awaiting for a proper international border post between Malaysia and Kalimantan.
CIQS Entekong, cantik, seolah-olah airport international. Tapi kita sebelah sini, kesian tengok, saya boleh katakan macam rebatna ayam.
Riyad added, the complex will be of high importance when Indonesia has fully moved its capital from Jakarta to Nusantara, Kalimantan. When it does, Sarawak will benefit immensely in terms of economic, as more Indonesians would enter Sarawak either for business or tourism.
Saya tegaskan di sini, selagi CIQS yang baru tidak dibina, saya akan ungkit perkara ini di Dewan.
A strategy is being drafted to address 35% of contributors of the Employee Provident Fund (EPF) who are 54 years old with less than 10,000 ringgit in savings. Second Finance Minister Senator Datuk Sri Amir Hamzah Azizan said through the 2024 budget, the government has announced a special incentive of 15% of the total contribution, which can go up to 500 ringgit annually.
Telah mengumumkan insentif khas sebanyak 15% daripada jumlah caruman sehingga maksimum RM500 setahun bagi caruman padanan kerajaan di bawah program aisaraan, tertakluk kepada hak maksimum RM5,000 seumur hidup bagi seorang individu. Kedua, kerajaan turut memberi insentif caruman padanan 50% bagi setiap ringgit yang dicarum ke dalam skim KWSP oleh suri rumah di bawah umur 55 tahun yang berdaftar dengan pengkalan data e-kasih di bawah program iSuri untuk menerima insentif semua hidup sebanyak RM3,000 setiap individu, tertakluk kepada insentif padanan maksimum sebanyak RM300 setahun.
A company previously said to want to invest in My Airline Sendirian Berhad has withdrawn from its intention to do so. Transport Minister Anthony Loke said that the company met him previously had already signed an agreement to invest in My Airline, but it was subject to several conditions in the agreement.
He said in the meeting he also shared his views on the challenges and potentials of the country's aviation industry, in addition to stating the conditions that the company had to comply with, namely resolving the issues of salary payment for My Airline employees and refunds to passengers who did not take flights due to the suspension of the airline's operations.
Iaitu yang pertamanya kena selesaikan isu pembayaran gaji kepada pekerja-pekerja, itu sebab obligasi syarikat. Yang keduanya, refund kepada penumpang-penumpang yang tak dapat mengambil penerbangan disebabkan pemberhentian operasi mereka. Dan saya juga berkongsi pandangan dengan mereka, cabaran-cabaran dan juga potensi yang ada dalam industri penerbangan negara. Jadi syarikat tersebut pada ketika itu mereka sudah ada menandatangani perjanjian untuk melabur dalam syarikat My Airline itu, tetapi tertakluk kepada beberapa syarat dalam agreement tersebut.
He said this in a press conference after officiating the 6th Kereta Api Tanah Melayu KTM convocation ceremony on Thursday. My Airline previously reported as agreeing to pay salary and allowance claims of 158 employees, totaling 4.3 million ringgit after a meeting held with the Labour Department on November 24th. On October 16, 2023, approximately 125,000 passengers impacted by the halt in the airline services involving over 22 million ringgit refunds to passengers.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms at TV Sarawak. Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.